Hello. Am I live? Am I live? I think I'm live. Hello, everyone. So today, I just wanted to do a cozy hangout live stream where we watch some videos. Game Theory has a new FNAF Theory. Woo! So I want to see what that's about. I also saw that Film Theory posted Gravity Falls Theory, which I'm also excited about. So yeah, we're basically just gonna be hanging out, watching these videos and my reaction to them. Is there anything I need to let you guys know about? So I finally got that doctor's appointment done, the very important one, and I have been diagnosed with the thing that I'm not sure if I'm ready to tell you guys yet. I'm not dying, don't worry, I'm not dying. But thinking I'm gonna do a live stream about that, hopefully later this week, but I don't know, we'll see. Yeah. Posted a video yesterday about 100 girlfriends. Don't worry, my channel is not gonna be 100% 100 girlfriends. I'm still gonna do Rise content. So next week I'm actually gonna do a comic dub of a comic that I made. So, be excited for that. Yeah, let's get into the video. Let's go.
FNAF's main villain has been keeping a secret from us since the beginning, and
hello, Flynn. Hello, Flynn Teal in the chat.
For
a third time. How many times is this one story going to release in different media?
And get us to realize that while we were all looking at Afton and the Mimic, there was another lurking in the shadows that explains everything.
Legasp. Okay. So, ideas on who that could be, possibly. Is it finally, are we gonna see Mrs. Afton? Or is it gonna be someone else entirely? Excited.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Hello, Tom.
That revisits FNAF lore about as much as Scott does. Yeah.
I have to look at the playlist because I know that we're over like 100 theory videos about FNAF at this point, but I want to know how many exactly.
If you haven't already heard, we've gotten the second main entry in Scott's interactive novel trilogy. It's called Return to the Pit.
Yo.
If you're a fan of FNAF, that name will absolutely ring a bell. In 2019,
Emily, hello. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry.
Then last year, we had Into the Pit, the game. And now
the game!
Scott is returning to what is clearly his favorite story in the franchise for a third time.
Yeah, the fact that he keeps making content about that specifically should imply that it's very important to the lore, so.
You know what's more infuriating than Scott telling us the same story over and over again? Scott changing that story just slightly each time for both.
Yeah, because when you change a story, sometimes it'll just have to change a little bit based on the media you're presenting it through. So it's not really something that can be helped. It's just going to change a little bit because of that, but it'll also depend on, like, what does it change the lore, or does it just change, like, a couple interactions or story beats or something?
The original story and the game, the missing children's incident was shown to involve 6 kids.
6 kids!
The typical 5 that we've been told about in the games, which in and of itself caused lots of disagreements within the fan base. But now in this new book, do you want to guess how many kids there are?
Are there 5?
It's been changed back to 5.
Okay.
This to line it up more with the games? Does that mean that this version is canon, but the original Fazbear Frights isn't? Scott, my guy, I literally spent an entire episode talking about how it would be nice if the books were canon, and then you go and pull this on me? I mean,
bro,
you didn't change it to something crazy like 7, but seriously.
You imagine if you changed it to like 8. It's like, no, Scott, why would you do that? But yeah, that is a little confusing. Is it 6 kids or 5 kids? Which one's the canon to the story?
That being said, this version of the story being more likely canon than the other versions does allow for some interesting theorizing. Something
cool.
we didn't talk about in our week before theory was how a choose-your-own adventure can work in terms of canonicity. With
Yeah.
these stories, while there are multiple endings, there is only one canon ending. However, that doesn't mean that the other endings can't be used to help solve the lore. In the week before, we know that phone guy Ralph has to die on night 4. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that an item he finds in a drawer in a non-canon route can't be used as evidence. The item still
Yeah.
exists in that drawer in the world.
I was gonna try explaining it, but I realized I didn't know exactly how to explain it, so I'm not going to try.
Is canonically there. It's just that canonically, Ralph never discovers it.
Yeah.
It is working on that same principle. The canon ending is Oswald defeats the Yellow Rabbit and saves his dad, like he does in the original story. But there are a number of alternate paths that don't go that way that we can still learn from. Remember, this is the 3rd time we are going through this story. Clearly, there is something that we've been missing that Scott is trying to draw our attention to. As
Yeah.
I was reading one of the alternate endings, something hit me around the face
Ooh.
like a yellow rabbit in 1985. This
Okay, so I haven't really read any of the books because buying books takes money, and I don't have a lot of that currently. So I don't know any of the stuff he's talking about currently. So I'll have to see what the book and the other stuff says.
one ending doesn't just add another log to the is it canon fire. It set off a chain of dominoes that completely changed my outlook on the franchise. It
Oh.
seems crazy, but if you'll stick with me, I promise you'll realize just as I did how this book affects the timeline, Fazbear's Full Fest origins, and one of the most confusing yet most important villains in this franchise.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Afton, and it's not the Mimic. Get your
Interesting.
theorists, because we've got a prize waiting for
Ooh,
us.
could it be Baby? Could it be Baby / Elizabeth? Ooh, possibilities. Or maybe, I don't know, man. It's like, it's Henry, Emily, I don't know.
Lore. Before we get too
Lore.
into the details, in case you somehow missed the last 5 years of this story existing, Into the Pit is about a kid named Oswald. During his summer
Oswald.
break, his dad drops him off at a local pizzeria called Jeff's Pizza. While there, he discovers a ball pit that has strange powers. It can take him back in time to 1985.
Time-traveling
Back
ball
then,
pit.
It wasn't Jeff's Pizza, but Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, he finds a golden rabbit mascot that lures him into a back room and reveals to him a lineup of dead children. Oswald runs to the ball pit to escape and finds his dad on the other side, but the yellow rabbit follows him, pulling his dad into the pit and taking his place in Oswald's life.
Honestly, the
Finding
game's
home, sitting
pixel
at his dining
animation.
table and sleeping.
The game's pixel animation is just so good. It's so good, guys. You gotta appreciate that. Globular snow? Hello.
in his bed.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Oswald
acknowledge
has
the
to break
chat.
out of his own house and return to the pit in order to find his dad, where he manages to trap the yellow rabbit and put an end to it. Now, in the original Fazbear Fright story, it was unclear what exactly was going on with this ball pit. Was
Yeah.
it really using time travel, or was it Oswald seeing agony-induced memories of the other victims that died in the ball pit? Agony being a powerful negative emotion that works kind of like Remnant, but not really. Listen, don't worry about it. It's
Don't
really
worry.
not that important, because in this new telling of the story, as well as the game from last year, we're being shown that this ball pit is using physical time travel.
Okay.
In the game, Oswald is able to take objects from the future into the past and vice versa. And in return to
Interesting.
the pit, Oswald meets a grown-up Chip, one of the kids he met in 1985, and
Wow.
Chip remembers him. So these retellings do seem to be showing us that it really is a time-traveling ball pit. And if that's the case, then there are a few other details that really begin to matter. So
Okay.
anything Oswald witnesses in 1985 are real things present in 1985, even if they aren't the canonical routes. And with that in mind, one of the alternative paths becomes very interesting. In 1985, Oswald has the option to leave Freddy's. Once he
Okay.
steps inside, he hears a voice calling for help. If we follow the voice, Oswald is led to a basement around the back of Freddy's. He makes his way down the stairs and is swiftly bumped over the head by the yellow rabbit.
Oof.
As he lies on the floor in a pool of his own blood, beginning to lose consciousness, he
Magnolia,
hears the
hello.
voice laughing at him. Now, you may be wondering why this particular ending stood out to me. Yeah, it's a bit creepy, but it's
Kinda-
just another note.
Kind of reminds me slightly of Blair Witch, where it's just like you get lured by something and then you get bonked from behind by the actual thing because it was a trap.
A path that leads to Oswald's demise. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal comes from when you read the description mysterious voice is coming from. Quote, about 5 steps away, sitting in the shadow, you see a doll that resembles a little girl. She has red hair and pigtails and is wearing a red dress that matches her hair. Her face, legs and arms are bone white, and she has a blood-red nose and crimson circles on her cheeks. Her entire appearance is unnerving. Immediately, I needed to identify this character. My first thought was Eleanor from other
Or Eleanor.
stories like To Be Beautiful. After all, Return to the Pit is a retelling of a fright story. She is described as looking like a doll with a clown-like face and red pigtails. This felt like an obvious match, but then when I went back and took a closer look at Eleanor's description, the more that connection felt less and less strong. Yes, she's got a clown-like face, but her cheeks are actually pink, not red, and her body is silver, not white. There's also how her body is described. Quote, its body was sleek and silver with a long neck, a tiny waist, and a rounded bust and hips. Its legs and arms were long, slender, and elegant. Yes, she is described as being doll-like, but that doll is more reflective of an adult woman with a rounded bust and hips and longer limbs. But the doll in Return to the Pit is described as looking like a little girl, as in not a fully grown.
Elizabeth!
Eleanor wasn't really fitting the bill for me, but while I scratched my head over this, there was one other detail that pointed me in the right direction.
Baby?
Once again, you hear the sound of laughter beside you. High-pitched,
The baby
you turn your head
dolls!
to the doll. She sits
Oh
there,
my
perfectly
gosh.
still, but the laughter gets louder.
The baby dolls that were in Security Breach, in that one like utility closet room thing. Ooh, okay.
As we've discussed, it feels like this book is trying to align itself with the game canon. So, a red nose, red cheeks, red hair, a red dress, and a creepy childlike laugh can only match one character, Plush Baby.
Plush
Now,
Baby.
If you're like me, you're probably sitting there thinking, what the heck is Plush Baby doing? The inclusion felt so intrusive. Like
I will say though, the Plush Baby, technically the hair is orange and it doesn't match the dress in that sense because the dress is still red. But still, you know.
the annoying ad that keeps asking for your data on every website you visit. Or like Santi as he follows me around the office. Fortunately,
The Santi slander.
NordVPN can help me out with at least 2 of those things. NordVPN allows me to deal with all these intrusive ads with their next level
It's an ad. It's an ad. Should I watch the ad? Yeah, I'll watch the ad. Give them some extra runtime. So, NordVPN.
So in an instant, I can just set my location to another country, like my home of the UK.
Man, I wish I could do that and watch streaming content.
Plus, but I also don't have to look at Sati's stupid face anymore.
You do realize that it doesn't literally change your location, right?
I don't know. Do you realize there's an agony murder rabbit behind you?
Do you even hear what you're saying?
But on top of all that good stuff, Nord is offering you guys a huge discount on a 2-year plan, along with 4 additional bonus months for free.
Renee,
All you have to
hello.
do is use my link, nordvpn.com/gametheory.
So,
Plus, if you try
interesting thing, my friend actually just texted me, like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing a live stream, you want to join the chat? So we'll see if he joins.
and that it's not for you, Nord has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's a win-win.
Alright.
Well, if
Bro, what's with the Santi slander?
Take your data and explore a world of content outside of your region. Click the link in the description or use my link.
If I had money, I'd get a VPN.
/GameTheory. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this episode. Now let's figure out
All
what
right.
Plush Baby is doing here. The truth is, I've actually been asking this question for a long time. Plush Baby was first introduced back in
Yeah, we never got an answer as to what the Plush Babies were all about. It's just kind of been left in the air. So,
VR Help Wanted as a simple plushy version of Circus Baby, even using the same lines as her, just higher pitch. Her level was, let's say, challenging.
yeah.
Oh god. But from a lore perspective, this was a VR game made by Fazbear Entertainment to fix their reputation while also promoting merchandise. So,
The
posh
merch.
version of Baby that people could then love or hate that they could then take home with them makes a lot of sense. What
Yeah.
didn't make a lot of sense is the fact she kept reappearing in games that didn't have that lore purpose. In
Yep.
Out 1 and 2, we're essentially a technician fixing all the attractions, but there Plush Baby is, making her way towards us
Hello.
to scare us. In Security Breach Ruin, Cassie can find a secret room inside Bonnie Bowl that, when you take off the Vanny mask, reveals a room full of
There it
Plush Babies
is.
all laughing like they do, only to disappear when you turn your back. And you can also collect AR versions of the plushie, with Cassie's only comment being, what is she doing here? Not only has
So she
Scott
knows
been
about
in all the
her.
Steel Wool era FNAF games, but he is specifically calling out that her presence is weird. And now she's being shoved into Return to the Pit during 1985. What is Scott trying to tell us
Interesting.
with this character? Well, take a look at Plush Baby's design.
She has
compared to
blue
the character
eyes.
She's based on Circus Baby. What difference do you notice? Besides the fact that
Yeah, I mean, her hair's more red, definitely, in the original version. It still kind of has an orange tint, but it's more red than the Plush Baby version. Lysandra? I think that's how to pronounce your name. Sorry if it's wrong. Hello. But, so the Plush Baby's hair is more orange, than the red dress, I guess. And blue eyes instead of the green eyes, because, you know, before Baby was possessed by Elizabeth, she had blue eyes, and then it turned green to match Elizabeth's when she got possessed by her.
one is a doll and one is a 7-foot monster clown.
Yeah.
Eyes. Plush Baby's eyes are blue, while Circus Baby's eyes are green. Though longtime fans of the franchise will remember that this isn't a design error from Scott. Circus Baby's eyes were originally blue, up until she scooped Afton's daughter Elizabeth and got Circus Baby's Pizza World shut down before it even opened.
Ugh.
When Baby scooped Elizabeth, Baby became possessed by Elizabeth, and as part of that, gained Elizabeth's green eyes. So for the Plush Babies to have blue eyes, they have to have been based on the character prior to Elizabeth's scooping. Therefore,
Yep.
from a timeline perspective, for this toy to exist as it does in Return to the Pit, a blue-eyed Circus Baby needed to exist before 1980.
So, interesting thing. I had this theory a while back that possibly the family dynamics that we knew, at least that we highly suspected, and we basically can both we all kind of just assumed was canon, was the Afton family being William Afton, Elizabeth Afton, Michael, and the crying child, whose name we now know is Dave. So that's cool. Yeah, but my theory was based on the family dynamics from the movies, where it was William Afton and Elizabeth Afton, and that was the whole Afton family, and then Michael and basically the Abby, or in my theory video, was the equivalent of Charlie, and then Garrett, who was the equivalent of crying child / Dave, and they were a family. And I had like this whole thing where I was able to kind of, based on that, figure out who in what order people died. So the order I came up with was Charlie died first. Afton started running experiments. Chica was likely the first of that. Susie, I should say. And then however many kids in between, it doesn't really matter at that point. But the order that was important was Charlie, then Elizabeth, and then crying child / Dave. So that was the order I came up with, you know, the other characters in between. I don't know how true my theory is, so just take that with a huge grain of salt, but that was my theory.
1985. We still don't have anything telling us exactly when her scooping happened prior to that date in 1985, whether
Yeah.
it was before or after Dave the Crying Child and Charlie's death.
And again, my theory was Charlie, Elizabeth, crying child.
But hey, at
And if you want to know more details about it, you can go watch the video. It's on my channel. It was like 6 Undo solves FNAF, because I came up with that theory when I was sick with COVID.
With FNAF, I'll take whatever timeline wins I can get. Although, that isn't the only thing this appearance teaches us. Because of Circus Baby's Pizza World's ambiguous placement in the FNAF timeline, there have been a lot of theories about why Baby and the Fun Times were designed with claws in their stomachs and cavities large enough to hold a child inside of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was to capture kids, but it's more about why Afton chose this method to capture them when...
Yeah, so I guess he's talking more like this method in particular, how to catch them, but the why in my theory video, because it was a debate the whole time, like, why would he capture kids and experiment on them unless crying child died first? And it was him trying to figure out how to bring his son back to life. For my theory, it was basically if crying child and Afton are William Afton are not related, then crying child could have, like, his death wouldn't have influenced him at all, probably. So he started the experiments after he saw what happened when Charlie died, and that was basically his motive. And that's how I came to the conclusion that Charlie, Elizabeth, then crying child. Again, it's just a weird crackpot theory. So again, it's not necessarily true.
The only thing we'd seen at that point was him stuffing the kids into suits himself. One option that has been theorized about is that the Funtime designs were made to capture kids in their stomachs because of the police sniffing around after the
Haha.
children's incident. Afton couldn't risk getting caught leading children into the back room himself like he used to, so he'd just have the animatronics do it for him. But in this book,
That makes sense.
Plush Baby and therefore a pre-Elizabeth baby were around before 1985, before the missing children's incident, which happened in Return to the Pit in 1985. That implies that Afton's use of Baby and the Fun Times was less responsive and more proactive. Like it was always the plan to have them assist him in capturing kids. Like he knew it was the smart approach to have help rather than doing it all himself. He
Yeah,
wanted someone else
you'd have an
to bring the
alibi.
kids to a secluded place where he could then kill them. He needed an accomplice. And if you
Yep.
think about it, this idea is actually being reflected with Plush Baby's recent appearances. In Return to the Pit, Oswald is led to a mysterious back room by Plush Baby and is then killed by a yellow rabbit. It's not
Yep.
literally Afton, it's a weird monster version of Afton with hundreds of teeth. But then again, it's not literally Baby either.
Yeah,
Instead,
yeah.
It's symbolic of the relationship these two characters have. Baby is once again helping to capture the kids, luring them to a place where Afton can finish them off. A similar thing happens in Ruin when we play as Cassie, another child. We're lured to a secret back room much like Oswald was, and inside are a bunch of giggling plush babies. Fortunately,
Also, one of them is
this
blue,
side
apparently,
rabbit came to
for some
kill us.
reason.
And you know why? Because the one who is acting like Afton, the mimic, is locked downstairs in the basement. We haven't released it yet. We can't even put on the Vanny mask in this room because doing so would summon mixes, the thing that is working to keep the mimic trapped. Symbolically, we're being shown that Afton, or things that think they're Afton, don't work alone. Though it's not just symbolic either. The more I thought about this, the more I realized that recent FNAF has been showing us Afton's need for an accomplice to pull off his plans. Just take a look at the FNAF movie. We've never actually talked about the FNAF movie on this channel before, mainly because Lee stole it from me. Hey,
Yeah,
you weren't using it. Well, I am
Lee.
now, so I'll be taking this back, thank you.
See, I did that with my theory video. Let's see what he has to say.
You can't just... Oh, look over there. I think Santi's trying to steal an anime episode from you. Hey, come back here. No, you don't. Yeah, the FNAF movie. In that movie, we meet William Afton, played by Matthew Lillard. But a key twist of the movie is that while he got Mike the job at Freddy's, he had someone on the inside keeping an eye on him. In fact, the only
Vanessa,
reason Afton
aka
showed up at the end
Elizabeth.
to try and kill Mike was because this person didn't do their job.
You had one job. One. Keep him in the dark. And kill him if he got too close.
That's 2 jobs.
His only daughter,
It's true.
Vanessa, in the movie universe, is Afton's accomplice. Just like how Baby, an animatronic that would be possessed by Afton's daughter and represent her going forward, was his accomplice in the game time.
So that was a thing that I noticed that led me down that rabbit hole of theories. It was like, because everyone assumed that the movie was just its own universe, so things are going to be changed a little bit. And that is true. So when the family dynamics were different, with Mike not being related to Afton at all, it made me kind of wonder, because Abby in the movie is, you would think, parallel to Baby, because, you know, name and everything would make sense. And therefore is like the equivalent of Elizabeth. But Vanessa is already paralleling Elizabeth, so why would there be two different characters who were paralleling the same character? So that led me to think that maybe Abby was parallel to Charlie instead. Which, you know, Abby, Baby can still, like, hint at being Charlie, because Baby was intended to be the adult version of Charlie, and she just got hijacked by Elizabeth when she got scooped. Again, just my theory.
Oh, look, I know this idea that Afton has always had an accomplice might sound like a bit of a stretch. It always
Honestly, not really.
was the sole killer. And believe me, I get it. I've been going back and forth with Ash on this topic for weeks. Just look at this whiteboard.
Ooh.
This looked like something sane people would write, but trust me, I really think there's something to this idea that Afton always needed an accomplice, especially because it would really begin to explain why Vanessa was so important to Glitchtrap in the modern games. I
Yeah.
always found it a bit weird that the Mimic One program acting like Afton, otherwise known as Glitchtrap, decided that he needed to brainwash someone in order to accomplish its goal. It's a cool concept, and we've always liked the cult of Afton idea, but it just felt a little out of the blue compared to other developments in the franchise.
Yeah.
The logical explanation we've had is that it needed a new body to be made because its main body was destroyed and locked away down in the FNAF 6 location. But if I'm right about what this book and all of these other games are showing us, then it is way more than just a simple put me back together plan. It was the Mimic once again following in Afton's footsteps. It needed its own accomplice. The other weird detail that we
That
just
makes sense.
couldn't quite answer was, why did Vanessa look like grown-up Elizabeth? Blonde hair and green eyes.
Yeah,
Unlike
yeah.
in the movie, she didn't appear to actually be Afton's daughter. The timelines didn't match up.
Yeah, it was always kind of just assumed that Vanessa, like, reminded him of his daughter, and symbolically it was just, like, the same thing happening again with Glitchtrap and Vanessa instead of William Afton and Elizabeth. So, again, like, different parallels, but in this case it makes sense that two characters would be, you know, paralleling each other, because it's just like a different time kind of thing.
If the Mimic was copying everything Afton did, from killing kids in the back room during VIP to literally wearing the bunny costume Afton used to wear, then it couldn't have just anyone be its accomplice. It needed to find one that matched Afton's previous accomplice.
Yep.
Circus Baby, i.e. Elizabeth. And here's
Yep.
the thing, for once, I don't think this is just another one of those clarifying details that we've talked about in previous episodes. When Scott clarifies small details, they tend to be very obvious and direct, but this relies much more on us connecting the dots and using symbolism. So much so that he's been shoving it in our faces for the past 5 years, and we're only just starting to realize what it means. That, dear theorists, tells me that while this modern era of FNAF has moved on physically from the days of Afton and Henry, there's still much more for us to learn about them and how they operate. And I believe it's going to affect where this franchise is going. Ironically, I think that ties together really nicely with the thing we've been theorizing about for a long time. Fall Fest. Fazbear's carnival origins from the 70s that we'll hopefully be getting to see more of in the new game Secret of the Mimic.
Yeah,
This is
excited
where
for that
a
one.
bunch of our previous theories all come together. In my very first FNAF theory, I briefly mentioned how Circus Baby has always been the oddball in terms of design aesthetic compared to all the other characters.
Yeah, that's
A
kinda
circus
true.
like Fall Fest would allow her design to feel much more at home.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have designs like Jackie. In my Secret of the Mimic theory, I also theorized that Fall Fest, specifically of 1979, would be where we get to see one of Afton's earliest kills. Maybe even his first. This was because the quote used by Steel Wool's design design director when the trailer for the game dropped. A line from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar that comes from a scene between Mark Antony and Brutus, where Brutus had killed Caesar, but Antony couldn't accuse him publicly. I believe this was reflecting Afton and Henry, with Afton being Brutus, Henry being Antony, and an innocent child filling the role of Caesar. Because Caesar loved Brutus just like the kids loved Afton's yellow rabbit. I believe that much like Antony, Henry was unable to accuse Afton publicly, despite knowing about it, because it would lead to the downfall of his business. So by combining these two theories, as well as what we've talked about today between Afton and Baby, we get a much clearer picture of what we can expect to learn about from Secret of the Mimic. Not only are we likely to learn about one of Afton's earliest kills, but we're going to see the true introduction of his accomplice that he's been using since the beginning, Baby. Someone who can distract parents and help Afton lure kids into a secret area and kill them. If I'm right, this would further explain why after the death of his son, his first instinct was to go back to Baby for his new venture. It was a return to form, back to the partner he could trust after his previous partner Henry betrayed him by making an animatronic that killed his son. The only thing I'm not really sure about, and the thing I'm most excited to see, is who this accomplice actually was.
Honestly, it could have. Well, I don't know when Elizabeth was born, so. But honestly, if she was born at the time, it still could have been her, and then she just had no idea what was actually going on. He just used his daughter to lure people into a sense of security and trying to help her, and then the dad just like it. But again, I don't know when Elizabeth was born, so this could have taken place before she was. But yeah, it could have been someone else. It could have been Mrs. Afton, honestly. We don't know anything about her, so anything's game, basically.
Mentioned in previous theories, Fall Fest wasn't the era of animatronics, but costumes.
Yeah.
So this Baby accomplice won't be the bundle of wires we know today. It will be a costume worn by a human performer. Was it just another person playing the baby clown role as part
Mrs.
of the
Afton,
circus that
maybe.
Afton trusted? Or was it Afton's actual baby, Elizabeth?
Or
A
that.
girl dressed as a clown, helping her dad at his circus job by playing with other kids, making her more of an unknowing accomplice, like Vanessa is the reluctant follower for the Mimic.
Yeah, because at that age, like, Elizabeth would have no idea what her dad was doing, and just, she would go along with it because it's her dad, but, like, you know, have no idea what he's actually doing to people.
It works really nicely, and it explains the whole Baby name, but
Yeah,
just
true.
have no idea how old Elizabeth is at any point in the story.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say for sure that she'd have even been alive during 1979.
Yeah.
That's another point of
That's what I was saying.
clarification that Scott will add for us in Secret of the Mimic. Or, you know, he'll just do another retcon and then gaslight us into thinking it was there the whole time. But there's also the chance that this is where Jackie/the Mimic comes into play, with their clown design being the premise for Baby later on. They were initially the accomplice learning from Afton, but later became the master, turning Vanessa into their own accomplice. But what do you guys think? I know that this one feels like a big swing, so I'd really love to hear what you think right now over on GT Live. Ash and I
Oh, he's on
will be
GT
talking about
Live.
FNAF until we physically can't anymore. So there's plenty of time to hop on by and give us your thoughts, whether it's extra
Should
evidence
I?
to support the theory, or if you found my sanity in the lost and found. Either way, friends, remember, it's all
Just a theory.
a game
No, I don't
theory.
think
Thanks
it's
for
live
watching.
anymore, honestly. If you guys are watching this game theory, I left my theory on the Reddit page if you want to look into it. Honestly, if you find things wrong with it, then tear it down. But I feel like my theory at least has potential, and I'd like you guys to look into it more, since I know a lot about FNAF, but I don't know as much as them. So I feel like if they could confirm or debunk it, that would, like, help me be at peace. But yeah, I haven't got noticed for that yet. If you guys want to see them do a Morty, or it's because they're doing now, it's Tom Torty. That sounds weird. I'd like them to do a Morty about that. That'd be cool. But that's the FNAF theory. So that's very interesting. I think yeah, FNAF has a lot of potential to go different ways. Alright. So we've been going for 30 minutes, but Film Theory also released, sorry, a Valentine's special. Is Bill actually in love with Ford? And I kind of want to see that, because I love Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is such a good show.
There might be yet another secret hidden in the pages of the Book of Bill.
Ooh.
It all comes down to shipping.
Shipping!
We see the thing that Joe drew. I just want to say that this drawing does not reflect the canon of Gravity Falls or the intent of its creator, nor of the Disney Corporation. Not canon yet.
Believe it or not, there's huge ramifications on Gravity Falls lore. I kind of love it.
Chat is rejoicing like you just created.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory, the show that's love language is acts of making conspiracy boards about cartoons.
Let's
And
go.
welcome back to Romance Month.
Romance month!
Yeah, in honor of Valentine's Day, I wanted to do an entire month of theories all about the season of love.
Let's
Some
go.
of them admittedly a bit of a stretch to fit.
I made Valentine's cookies for my family. The problem was, though, we ran out of normal butter, and we only had, like, saltless butter, and I was like, it probably won't affect the taste that much. Yeah, it did. It affected the taste. And then for, like, the frosting, I tried to add a little bit of salt to it, you know, to get the flavor back. But the salt I used, I think, was a little too intense, and so it didn't end up working the way I wanted it to. I mean, they're not, like, inedible, they just taste kind of off. You know, you can tell that there's something different, but anyway.
Fit into that theme? Maybe. You'll just have to subscribe to find out. Last week we figured out who was the
Also subscribe if you haven't already to me, please.
I wanted to revisit the universe of Gravity Falls and the Book of
Let's
Bill. At this
go.
point, Gravity Falls needs a little introduction. This Disney
Yeah,
series
honestly.
created by Alex Hirsch is a certified theory classic, and the fandom was absolutely
Someone just subscribed to the channel. I don't know if they're in the chat, but hello. Cuphead in the chat, hi. Dandy subscribed to the channel. That, like, the notification burst my eardrums. Oh my gosh. Wish I knew how to fix that. Anyway.
Last year when they released the Book of Bill, a
Book of Bill.
biography written by the franchise's main villain, two-dimensional demon, Bill Cipher. And just before we move forward, as always, shout-outs to the incredible community over on the Gravity Falls subreddit and Discord who came together to help decode all of the puzzles in this book. Seriously, go
Guys,
check
there's
out
so
this
many
video if you
puzzles.
wanna be amongst the first to solve any new puzzle. But okay, how are we possibly going to talk about this in Romance Month? Well, see, in our first Book of Bill theory, we speculated that one of the characters speaking to us in code throughout its pages was a character named Jessel Brom the Unswerving, also known as the Oracle. This is a character that first appeared in Journal 3 and only kinda sorta cameos in the Book of Bill if you like squint a little.
Yeah.
Connected some dots and speculated that Jessie here may have also been Bill's ex-girlfriend, but there were some within the community that disagreed with that interpretation. Everyone is on the same page that Bill clearly has an ex, it's made pretty obvious in the book.
Yeah.
Others believe that Bill didn't have an ex-girlfriend, but instead an ex-boyfriend.
Ooh.
A character we know all too well, Stanford Punk.
The shipping is real. So you guys know those little heart candies that happen around Valentine's? You know, the ones that are like kind of chalky? I actually really love those. I really like those candies. And they're surprisingly hard to find nowadays. It's crazy. Anyway.
First of all, this is great. Though I picked up on the differing X energy that Bill and Ford were giving off, and actually
It's kind of like the shipping between Splinter from Rise and Diraxum. Like, they're very much written as like bitter exes, like like the divorced dads kind of thing. So maybe it's similar going on thing with Bill and Ford. I don't know.
literal romantic relationship was a possibility and perspective I didn't really consider when I was first diving into the Book of Bill. Like, to me, it seems like something that Disney would be a bit too cowardly to actually explore.
Honestly, kind of, yeah.
Thank you guys for opening my eyes to the possibility. Plus, I think it's great that there are multiple solutions out there for these sorts of puzzles. And
It's
there's
true.
absolutely a place for competing ideas in these sorts of spaces. After all, everything we do is just a theory, and there can
It
be
is true.
multiple solutions to unanswered questions. And I gotta say, after sitting down and looking at the evidence, there's a ton of it for both Jessie and Ford being the ex-lover referenced in the book. So
Ooh.
today I wanted to really put our all-seeing pyramid eyes up to a microscope and examine both of these answers to see which one holds up better, if either of them do. Yep, that's right, friends. Today we are finally doing another Morty. Well,
Yo.
I guess it's not really a Morty anymore. What did Tom call these over on Game Theory? Oh yeah, here's my absolute trash take on this
Trash take, right?
idea from the community. Just let me scribble that out and we'll replace that with theorist and voila, brand synergy.
Yo.
Theories in the comments or subreddit. I'll pick my favorite in the next episode of Trash.
Can I get a trash for my game theory for FNAF, please? Me literally begging. Maria Clara Lopez, hello.
Things off, I think it's worth going back over our original.
Ooh, maybe Lee and Tom could even collaborate on it because it involves the movie.
And adding some additional evidence for it. In case you need to catch up in our Book of Bill videos, I proposed that Bill Cipher's ex-lover was Jessel Braun the Unswerving. But who exactly is this mysterious oracle, and what was leading us to that conclusion? Well, for starters, the Book of Bill heavily implies that Bill is hiding a past relationship from us, the readers, throughout its pages. In the My Exes section of the book, he crosses out the first few lines of text, insisting that his former relationships aren't relevant or even existent. Yeah, sure, buddy, I do think the triangle doth protest too much. It's clear that this is just another instance in a long line of Bill avoiding and confronting some difficult emotions.
Honestly, romance is really hard for me. I don't know how to do romance, like, at all. Yeah.
Now, the identity of this ex Bill clearly has is left up to interpretation.
Yeah.
It could be Ford. It could be Jesse. It could be the howling void that he had a situationship with in a one-time coffee date. The barcode in the love section of this book reads, "I miss the void when scanned." Yeah,
Wow.
I miss the void too, buddy. He's probably staring to it every day. So why did I think it was referring to Jesse? Well, a few reasons. Big one, basically two of the only places in the entire book that Bill tries to scribble over information and make you as a reader move on are the sections involving his exes and the page revealing Jesse as one of the henchmaniacs. Yeah, in the section of the Book of Bill where we're introduced to Bill's friends and Bill and his crew of goons called the henchmaniacs, one of them is curiously scribbled over with red ink. While it's difficult to make out, if you look closely, you can see that this picture is clearly supposed to be Jessel Braun, and her name, Jessie, is clearly short for that full name. It really stuck out to me that Bill had basically the same reaction, telling us that both his ex and Jessie were unimportant or not relevant when basically nothing else in the book is. But the real
Yeah, whether or not they were in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, something definitely still happened between the two. Something happened.
relationship we should be looking at is the one between you and your internet connection, because you should
Ah,
absolutely be
ad
using space
time.
theories
Lord
At this
VPN.
point, you know what a VPN is, but you might not
Yeah.
know all of the awesome stuff it can do to make your life better. A big thing. I
Uh,
watch a ton of content for my job here at Film.
Go
Just
here.
we're in a part of the world without those bands. You can keep your
It'd be
internet
really
going
nice to be able to do that. I'd like access to cool stuff.
Watching anywhere in the world, go to nordvpn.com/filmtheory to get a huge discount on a 2
Let's go!
bonus months for free.
Me promoting my stuff on Patreon. I now have it so that fan art is available for $1. So join if you can. Okay.
And it's all risk-free with Nord's 30-day
Risk-free.
money-back guarantee. Once again, that's nordvpn.com/filmtheory, or just click the link in the description.
All right.
NordVPN, and let's jump back into the Book of Bill.
Here we go.
On top of that, Jesse also has a lot of knowledge about Bill, more than most people in this universe probably could or should.
Yeah.
Jesse Braun the Unswerving, aka the Oracle, first appeared in Journal 3, another real-life canon publication that Disney put out about Gravity Falls. During Ford's
Yep.
travels, he came across Jesse in Dimension 52. where he nursed him back to health after he was attacked by razor-sharp shapes in the 2D dimension.
Ugh.
He only had 2 pages in the journal. Jessel Braun's impact on the Gravity Falls lore was huge. We're told
Wow.
quote, she had some stunning insight about Bill.
Yeah, I was never able to get the Gravity Falls books, unfortunately. But I would love to read them. I hear that they have tons of lore and are also very funny.
And intimately knew his history, how he killed his family, and destroyed
Oof.
his home dimension. She also knew his weaknesses, and Jesse is also responsible for putting the metal plate in Ford's head that prevents Bill from re-entering his mind. She basically gave Ford the key to defeating Bill. So that then begs the question, how does she know so much about Bill?
Yeah,
One explanation could be that all of her insight comes from her clairvoyant power.
that is possible.
You don't get a title like
oracle for nothing. If you don't know, an oracle is someone who is able to speak prophecy. They can see the future more or less. This traces its root back to the oracles of Delphi, ancient Greek priestesses who were thought to channel the foresight of the god Apollo for visitors who made the difficult climb up Mount Parnassus. This connection between the ancient Greek myth and Jessobom is furthered by her home Dimension 52 being depicted as a temple atop a mountain.
Yeah.
Like the oracles of Delphi.
Yeah, I can
As
see
we
the
learn about
parallels.
Bill, Jessie's stunning insight into Bill isn't just the result of her clairvoyance. No, she has first-hand experience of the triangular menace. Remember how we just talked about Jessie originally being part of the Henchmaniac?
Yeah.
Well, while her entry is noted as unimportant, her hidden blurb hints that this couldn't be further from the truth. She was very important to Bill's crew. It's hard to make out exactly, but Reddit user Blackberry Lulu did a pretty good job translating it as the smartest one. Figured out horizontal dimensional portals. Who needs her? Too many eyes anyway. Yeah, don't need her or her portals. Sure thing, bud. Don't know about you, but to me, that does sound pretty spiteful ex-adjacent. Angry
Yeah.
ex-friend at the very least. And since they parted ways, Jessie has been doing so much work against Bill. We've already talked about how she nursed Ford back to health and gave him the power to resist Bill's abilities, but that's only scratching the surface. On the shaman page of the Book of Bill, there's a hidden code that translates to which henchmaniac ratted me out. Well, Jessie used to be henchmaniac, and given that this is on a page about Modoc the Wise, the first human Bill tried to sucker into building a portal for him, seems like she might have helped him out here too in the same way she helped Ford, and the same way she gave us some coordinates to Reality 34 where Bill has no powers. We talked about that in a previous theory. Whether you believe that this was a romantic relationship or not, clearly Jessie hit a sore spot beneath Bill's bricks.
Yeah, no
If
doubt.
they weren't entangled, so to speak, I would be confident saying that she was likely one of his favorite henchmaniacs, if not the favorite. Her defining trait as
Best
the
friends.
smartest one would be very attractive to Bill. Time and time again, Bill has sought out history's greatest minds, not just because they could aid him in building the portals, but because they could understand him on an intellectual level.
Yeah.
Bill's backstory is one of an outcast.
I am not that smart.
Someone who could see beyond his
I would not be a favorite of
Before he
Bill's.
became the villain we know and love to hate, he just wanted his family to understand him and his worldview before he murdered them all. Of course,
Yeah.
So much of Bill's core motivation comes from that moment.
If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like I heard somewhere that it could have been an accident or like he blacked out at the time he did that. I don't know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I legit don't know.
Loneliness and seeking others you can see from his perspective. To me, the hyper-intelligent Jesse is a clear candidate for the most important person in Bill's life during his quote-unquote glory days. And again, why a romantic connection there made so much sense to me. But perhaps I'm reading into a toxic partnership that was never a toxic romance. Because as we said at the top of the episode, a lot of theorists have pointed out that there's a bunch of evidence showing that Ford Pines is actually Bill's big X. So what is that evidence?
Let's
Well,
look and
to start
see.
out, before meeting Bill, Ford was extremely lonely. He was unable to connect with people, partially because he lacked people skills, and partially because his intellect alienated him from others. But
Yeah.
after meeting Bill, Ford's journal entries light up with excitement. There's a marked shift in his worldview. He writes that meeting this extra-dimensional deity of knowledge was the greatest day of his life.
Wow.
He seemed to hit it off immediately. Ford is in awe of Bill's wit, intelligence, and humor. Early on, he can't help but repeat, "What a guy," while complimenting his new pal. Though this is scribbled out by the time we read the journal.
Yeah.
Likewise, Bill repeatedly compliments Ford's talents and smarts. The two often find themselves thinking the same thing. At one point, Bill even says, "I'm starting to like you, Sixer." And Ford responds, "I'm starting to like you, Bill." Now, it's difficult to say whether Bill is being sincere here or just manipulating Ford. But I think both
Yeah.
of these guys did feel somewhat relieved to find someone to connect with on a meaningful level after.
It is possible that like Bill intended to use Ford and then actually grew a fondness for him, whether it be romantic or friendship, and then like had to actually enact his plan though. I don't know. It's possible.
For being alone for so long. In the love section, Bill describes human beings as a lonely species and views them as weak for wanting to form relationships.
I will say humans rely on social stuff we need interaction, otherwise we go crazy. Like, literally. It is just a part of our species. I say our while I'm a plant. I'm close enough to a human, guys. I'm close enough.
I believe this is just more proof that he's insulting a feeling that he's unwilling to admit that he also experiences. I mean, just look back at the series. Though he doesn't explicitly say it, Bill has clearly been lonely in his life, in his home dimension.
But I wasn't always this way. Imagine living in the second dimension. Flat minds in a flat world with flat dreams.
But okay,
Oof.
that's some small stuff. What about something bigger? Well, a year into their relationship, Ford begins describing Bill as his muse, citing all of the wonderful ways Cypher changed his life for the better. If you don't know, muse, along with being a really solid band, is a word that is used to refer to someone or something that provides an artist with creative inspiration.
It's very
Pretty much
poetic.
anyone or anything can be a muse. A person, a cat, a rock, the sky. As long as it can make you feel inspired and creative, it can be your muse. But while the term is often used platonically, it's also often used romantically. Like, you know what
Yeah.
a common source of creative inspiration throughout the ages has been? Someone you have a crush on, an unrequited love.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why there's a billion love songs out there, people. And I think I would
Billion love songs and a billion different harem anime. Like, gosh. Relax, people. Except 100 Girlfriends. We all love 100 Girlfriends, guys. Smiling critters never trust a theory. Just true.
Romantic sense within the gay community. For example, it's thought that famous Renaissance artist Michelangelo found a muse in a young nobleman named Tommaso de Cavalieri. The relationship between the two was said to have inspired many of Michelangelo's works, including poems, letters, and drawings. Some have gone as far as to theorize that the famous statue of David was modeled after Cavalier's own body.
The apples, hello. Hello, welcome to the chat.
Hey, good on you, Cavalieri. Keep up.
I will say also, the original writer for Little Mermaid fairy tale, I believe it's basically all but said aloud that he was very much attracted to guys instead of ladies,
The workout routine.
or at least one guy in particular.
Bill, again, with that context, it absolutely seems like Ford is using the term muse with that romantic connotation, describing a relationship between himself
It does
and
feel a
Bill
lot like that.
platonic.
It does
Ford
feel a lot
pushes
like that.
Bill picks him up when he's down, calms him down when he's anxious. Bill helps Ford stand up for himself when someone insults him, and even leads him to the coordinates of new paranormal discoveries.
Wow.
He also claims that Bill has given him the ability to see an eighth color of the rainbow that normal people aren't able to see. That does seem pretty gosh darn romantic.
Mysterious color unlike any you've seen on Earth.
And very much a way to literally get someone to see the world in a brand new way. A
Wow.
common way people describe their outlook on life changing after entering a relationship. But the metaphors don't stop there, my friend.
My mind was blown when I realized that the moon. Oh, hello! You joined. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Smiling critters. Hello. Again, that notification blasted my eardrums. Anyway, I learned that the moon, you could fit like 50 moons in the Earth, when I had always been taught that you could fit 4 moons in the Earth, and that blew my mind. And I'm still reeling from it. I'm just like, what the heck? Is it a Mandela effect? Were you guys taught the same thing? Anyway.
After feeling disappointed that no one remembered his birthday, Ford learns that Bill possessed a swarm of rats that spell out his name as a present.
Why?
Bill offers to get Ford drunk and enter his mind. And once he eventually accepts, things get crazy.
Ooh.
Apparently, quote, one thing led to another. Yeah, that is definitely cartoon code for they got it on.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Ford realizes that this Bill guy, he's really got it all figured out. Which is interesting because Bill describes Ford as pansexual. Basically, he's attracted to logic and preparation and planning. Ford saying that Bill's got it all figured out really hints that he's attracted to Bill and his unique brand of planning. In this instance, his elaborate rat birthday gift.
Yeah.
Even though he was an evil, spiteful little creature, Bill clearly did return Ford's affections to some degree, evidenced by his reaction after their falling out. After their breakup, Bill wrote, I know Sixer loved our will they, won't they destroy the universe relationship. This was just our way of keeping things spicy. That's obviously a pun on the idea of will they, won't they relationships, a common tactic used in sitcoms and the like.
I will say, so my family has a thing where we trade off watching shows that we want to show each other. And we're watching one, and the will they won't they between the two main characters has been going on for 3 seasons. And like, you think there's gonna be development, and then it just doesn't, and we go back to the status quo, and it's like, just come on, decide already, jeez. It's so annoying.
Gone for good because a part of him feels lost without their relationship. And in order to prove how not upset he was, Bill decided to drown his sorrows at a dive bar called O'Sadley's Multi-Dimensional Pub at the
Oof.
rock-bottom asteroid belt in the vicious Spiral Nebula. Witness later claims that Bill tried to order 1 sixer
Oof.
before bursting into tears. Yeah, don't know about you, but I don't normally sob my way to the bottom of a White Claw unless I'm going through it.
Oof, yeah.
The cherry on top here, if you type in divorce or breakup into the computer on thisisnotawebsite.com, it takes you directly to the logo for O'Sadley's. I mean, even Mabel straight up calls Bill a super needy ex, giving him a few tips to get over Uncle Ford, while also instructing him to go crush on someone else's uncle, or even to avoid uncles altogether for a while. And finally, if you want to bring in some out-of-canon evidence too,
So when looking back on TMNT 2012 and Shredder, it's like, you realize that he's doing all these horrible things because he couldn't get a decent rebound. Oh, this guy is so powerful and strong, and it's just like, you're evil because you couldn't get a rebound, Crash. You just couldn't move on.
Hirsch himself has said that he used real-life breakups as inspiration for the dynamic between Bill and Ford. At his In Motion 2024 panel in London, he said,
I asked myself, what would the relationship between a demon and his dude be like? I thought it would be tumultuous, and it might remind me of the worst relationships. If you're looking for a really, really messy relationship, rather than type in demon, you know, maybe type breakup and see what you see online.
basically, people often speak worse about their exes sometimes than they would literal, actual demons.
Oof.
He used that as inspiration for how he thought Bill.
I have seen that happen, and like, yeah, I have seen that happen before. Honestly, like, I haven't really, like, I've only dated like 2 people before. and honestly, they were both really nice and really great. The first one though, it was like 6th grade, so I can't really count that. And you know, you're in 6th grade, not everything's gonna be great. So yeah, but I don't really blame him for that. We were kids. And then the other one was just like, literally, it is just me. I'm just not feeling it, and I feel really bad for that, because like, he was a great guy. He was a great guy. I hope he's doing cool. I hope he's doing okay.
Bill and Ford would treat each other. And I mean, this does pretty much check out in the show. Though they were kind of long distance before the show, just look at how Bill treats Ford when they actually see each other IRL in Weird Mageddon.
Good old Six Fingers. I've been waiting an eternity to have a chat face to face.
He's cruel to Ford and beats him up, clearly trying to let his aggression out.
Yeah.
Just like a toxic ex would. With all of this overwhelming evidence, the way they talk and think about one another, the work they did together, the affection they showed to one another, how Bill reacted after they fell out, and the real-world inspiration for their relationship, I think I have to say that the community is right on this one. There's more than enough to say that Bill and Ford were romantically entangled, and that both still have rough feelings over the breakup. So, thank you. Thank you all for pointing this out to me and for helping me see it. You're awesome, and this is why I love theorizing communities. And
Yo.
yes, I don't think that that's the whole story. In fact, I think this is a rare case where 2 theories are actually correct at the same time.
Yeah, that is
Bill
also
actually
possible.
dated both Jesse and Ford at different points in his life.
Oh, definitely, that's
I don't
possible.
think that anyone would argue against the fact that if Bill and Ford were in a relationship, that it was an incredibly toxic one.
Yeah.
He is not a good guy and absolutely used abusive tactics on Ford. Sure, Bill sometimes returns Ford's affections. He calls him cutesy nicknames like Fordsy, but he's also neglectful. While they were
Yeah.
together, when Bill was inside of Ford's mind, Ford felt unstoppable. But when Bill takes extended trips away, disappearing for weeks or months at a time, Ford starts to question himself and his worth. Bill refuses to return, even when Ford clearly needs help, and Bill knows that. Bill calls Ford his property, taking threatens to go find another partner if Ford doesn't do what he wants, and guilt trips him for trying to form close relationships with other people like McGucket instead of focusing on building a portal for Bill.
Yeah, that's
all of
rough.
the ego-stroking compliments Bill delivered at the beginning of their relationship looks a lot like love bombing or manipulation. But
Yeah, that's the thing with relationships. You can love a person at the same time as treating them horribly, and that is not a good thing. Whether the person loves you or not, if they treat you like that, that is wrong. Don't ever let anyone treat you like that. So, even if they do genuinely love you, but most of the time it is just the manipulation tactic. Yeah.
here's the thing. According to Gretchen Shaw, Associate Director of the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, if abusers don't seek counseling or work on themselves to change, they most likely never will.
Yeah.
Bill, unless he really tries, he's going to continue to be abusive in his relationships, and more than likely was abusive in his previous relationships. Like, say, maybe his first relationship. Though it isn't the same for everyone, some people don't feel romantic love for their entire lives.
Literally me.
It's statistically common that a person will first fall in love during their late teens and early 20s. That makes sense. This is a period in a person's life where they're finding independence for the first time outside of their family units. For Bill, this was probably right after he destroyed the second dimension and when he recruited the Henchmaniacs.
Yeah.
According to Catherine Loveday, professor of neuropsychology at the University of Westminster, first loves are important experiences because they impact a person's development. How you come to intimately trust someone outside of your immediate circle for the first time can change how you form those relationships for the rest of your life. So, to me, while Ford makes sense as Bill's most recent relationship, it makes sense to me that Jesse fits into the role of Bill's first love. I mean, he's old, like really old, so of course he would have had previous relationships. Jesse was basically the idealized version of what we know Bill finds interesting in a potential partner, romantic or otherwise. He was hanging out with him a lot during the period that was equivalent to Bill's late teens or early 20s, when he would have been psychologically impacted by the relationship. She knows things about Bill that only an intimate partner, or at the very least someone he acutely trusted would, as evidenced by the fact that she knows how Bill destroyed his own dimension, a memory that he tries to keep repressed. It
Yeah.
all lines up. It makes sense. But just like a lot of other first loves, it didn't last. Jesse became fed up with Bill's manipulative, destructive, and self-serving antics, and ended up reporting him to Time Baby before using her ability to create portals to flee to safety. And this falling out seemed to be foundational to Bill's psychology about love and romance. When you read through the pages where Bill describes the feelings of love, you can see how his experiences taught him that love is a weapon. He believes that love is a scam, a trick, an industry, a way to brainwash people.
Which
Love
is
a
not.
sales pitch. You are the product and your crush is the customer. It's up to you to do whatever it takes using any means necessary to get them to invest. Most importantly, though,
Which is
Bill
not
says
healthy.
Fear and love are right next to each other in the brain, and notes that most humans can't even tell the difference. He even recommends faking vulnerability to attract a partner. That's why he uses a combination of affection and fear to manipulate his marks. He confuses their hearts and forces them to bend to his whims. And doesn't that sound exactly like what he was doing to Ford? So think about it. If Jesse was Bill's first love, and that relationship was anything like what we see with Bill and Ford, then it would explain why Jesse is so hell-bent on stopping Bill even thousands of years after they split ways.
Honestly,
Just as
yeah.
Bill was Ford's abuser, he was almost certainly Jesse's too. And honestly, if both of these theories are right, if they can coexist, it makes for a much more multi-layered story. It gives so much more color and history and depth, ironically enough.
The
to Bill,
lore.
Jesse, and Ford. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Yo.
Up next on Film Theory. So you thought putting 27 movies in a timeline
Goodness.
was hard? You ain't seen nothing.
Wow. So that's very interesting. That is, wow. That's crazy, man. Alright. So, that was fun, looking at stuff. Honestly, anytime I look at Gravity Falls stuff, there's always something to laugh about. Alex Hirsch is such a great comedy writer. It's so great. But he's also, like, really good at the drama and character interactions, too. He knows how to write his stuff, man. He knows how to write his stuff. So, I think I'm going to end the stream soon, but this was really fun hanging out with you guys. So, updates. I'm gonna be posting a comic dub of Rise stuff that I made on Monday. So look out for that. Again, on Patreon, fan art is now available for $1 a month. So if you are able to, please join. That'd be really great. I'd love to have you guys. I am working on 100 Girlfriends content too, but again, don't worry, I'm still going to be making Rise content, so that's not going anywhere, so you don't have to worry about that. Check out my Tumblr if you want to see fan art for free. It gets posted on there later than Patreon, of course. Anything else? I am planning on doing a live stream, hopefully later this week, maybe next week, I don't know. But I'm going to be discussing stuff about my life and my health. I'm not dying, don't worry. But I wanted to talk about it with you guys, and I think that'd be very nice to do. I can consider it like my 14,000 subscriber special, cause I'm about to hit 14,000, so that's really cool. I've been gaining subscribers a lot faster than usual. I went right by 13,000 subscribers. I'm like, whoa, that was crazy, and now I'm almost at 14. So gonna do that. That'd be cool. Love to hang out with you guys. I'll have to schedule like a date for that. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys later. Is there anything else though that I need to tell you about? I think that's everything for now. Yeah. So I'll see you guys later.